Hello, everyone, and welcome to another digital build with Build It. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to create a short, basic lo-fi hip-hop beat using Ableton Live. Right now, there's a 90-day free trial when you sign up with your email, so be sure to check it out. And I'll be sure to put the link in the description below. So let's get to it. So as you can see, we've opened up Ableton Live, and I've already thrown in some samples in here, so you can go check out what's going on. So first off, you'll see I have a piano sample imported into Ableton. Today, we're going to be sampling jazz pianist Hank Jones off of a jazz tune, Diane, by saxophonist Art Pepper. So we've got the sample selected, and let's go ahead and take a listen. So now that we've got the sample selected, we're going to go ahead and put a plugin to already capitalize on the mechanical buzz that we already hear in the background. So what we're going to use is a plugin called Isotope Vinyl. So this is a free plugin that's available for download off of Isotope's website, and I'll be sure to put the link in the description for that as well. So we're just going to drag that plugin onto our sample and just adjust some of the settings to get that kind of lo-fi vibe. So let's go ahead and loop this, and let's see what we hear here. So what you'll see here, let's go ahead and first adjust the year. It's kind of like that little decade times thing. So 1950 seems like a pretty good setting for this one. Kind of brings down the audio quality a little bit. Let's go ahead and throw on some extra mechanical noise, electrical noise as well. Some of that dust and scratch that we normally hear on a record player. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. So now that we've got our little piano sample, let's go ahead and move on to a short little vocal sample we got. So we're going to sample some audio from an anime called Your Lie in April. And to bring the sample to the next level, we're going to throw on some reverb up on here too. So we're going to go into the audio effects panel on the left and look for our reverb. This will help our audio just kind of like stand out and just kind of bring like a sort of dreamlike sequence, which is what we're going to try and go for in this little track here. So let's go ahead and first listen to the sample without reverb, and then we'll listen to it with, and you can see the difference. So that's without the reverb. So let's go ahead and throw that reverb on there, and we can see or hear a huge difference. We'll adjust some of the settings down here, such as decay time, dry wet scale here. So you can already hear a huge difference between not having reverb and adding reverb. Kind of sounds like the character or the person speaking is like in a little, like a cave or something, or a little hall. And kind of adds to the like a sort of dreamlike sequence that we've already kind of got going on with our piano sample in the back. So let's go in here, just the two of them together. So already we can kind of get a vibe for what's going on here. Something I will add though, let's go ahead and throw on a compressor onto our piano sample. What we're going to do here is we're going to sidechain audio from our audio. So what will happen here is basically when the audio is, I guess, being played or whatever, the piano sample is going to kind of duck down so that we can get the audio clearly. And so it's not getting masked by our piano sample. So let's go ahead and check out what's going on here. Let's actually also boost up some of this, some of the audio here, the audio levels. Let's see, yeah, just get a little bit more. Bring this down a little bit. Cool. So now we can kind of hear the audio, our audio sample a little bit better. See what we can get. Yeah. Cool. So now that we've got that, as you can see, I've also made a short little break here. Kind of just isolates the audio in that little section before we get into our kind of beat drop or just our little beat section out here. So let's go ahead and move on to our kind of bass and drums that we have here. So as you can see, I've already laid down a pretty basic bass line here. Pretty simple. We just got like a few notes, just outlining some of the maybe the chords that were happening up in our piano sample, since we're just going to be looping that all the way through. And I've also kind of ad-libbed a little bit of extra bass here, just a little bit of extra little something something. Oh, let's go ahead and play all that here. Let's just focus on the bass line. Yeah, so pretty straightforward, not too much crazy stuff going on here. And then we just kind of loop that all the way through. So now let's move on to our drums. As you can also see some pretty basic stuff here. We got our hi-hats, snare, and our kicks. You can definitely get a little bit more crazy with the hi-hat rhythms. I just chose to keep it very straightforward, using some MIDI stuff in here. Let's see if we can hear some of this stuff. Yeah, so we got some closed hi-hats, some open hi-hat, and let's just hear how this one sounds. Yeah, so nothing too crazy. You can definitely get a little bit more intricate with the rhythms here, but we just kind of decided to keep it simple here. Next, we've got our snares as well, and I kind of just pick this snare off. We're just going to put it into our on beat 3. Let's go and play some of that too. So you can see here that we kind of want a different kind of vibe from these hi-hats and these snares. You kind of want some of that washed out tone, some of that low fidelity audio that we also have with the piano. We kind of want to put that on our hi-hats and our snares. So I'm going to go ahead and go back into the plugins um, menu on the left and go ahead and put that same vinyl plugin on the hi-hat. So let's go ahead and check out how it works out here. So you can hear a huge difference in terms of the hi-hats here. Without the vinyl plugin, it just sounds it's really crisp, and that's not really what we want here. We kind of want a flatter, more washed out, more papery sound. So that's what this plugin does. So let's go ahead and put that same thing onto the snares, and let's hear what we have going on here. Cool. So there's also a huge difference between just the overall sound quality from the snares that we have. Before, without the isotope vinyl plugin, I'm gonna go ahead and adjust some of these settings here. Just kind of throw it around, see what's going on out here. So without the sample, we hear a huge pockety, more hollow snare sound, and we kind of want it to be just flat, papery. So yeah, sounds pretty good. Let's go ahead and move on to our kicks here. I went for a kind of a boomy sort of kick. So let's go ahead and hear how this one turned out. Yeah. So something I will add is some EQ. Go ahead and go into our audio effects and EQ8. So this will allow us to adjust some of the just this overall EQ for the kick drum. So what I'm going to do is we're going to throw this on a loop, and let's go and kind of cut out some of that high end that we were kind of hearing before. So you hear kind of that, it's like a kind of metallic rattling in the higher frequency areas. So let's go ahead and take those out. Yeah, there we go. Let's go and do another, and we'll just kind of get the kicks to somewhere that sounds pretty good to our ear. Cool. So that sounds pretty good. So some of the last things that you'll see here, I've kind of added some effects, kind of a knocking type effect that I got from a little rim. Oh, let's try and get that. Yeah, kind of a little rim click here. And you know what? Let's go ahead and throw on that isotope vinyl plugin one more, or just a couple more times here. We'll put that on there. So we're gonna isolate that again. Yeah, kind of some knocks, and then we also got a shaker down below here. Yeah, let's go ahead and throw some of that vinyl plugin on here as well. And the last thing that we have here in terms of just sampling audio and stuff, kind of a mechanical type noise that I found. And we're just gonna go and play that. So this kind of noise, it just adds another layer on top of the beat already. If you want to keep going, definitely go check out some other stuff. You can add lots more, but we're just gonna keep it fairly straightforward just for the time being. Just throwing on a little piano sample, get some vocals up in there, bass, some drums, some short effects. So the last thing we'll do is we'll just save and export the audio. So let's go ahead and see how it, or rather, hear how it turned out.